get ready because the rookie is getting ready to start right now. Woo woo! Call the police.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh my God! It's the rookie season finale! Whoop whoop! Call the police! Whoop woo! I am so excited about tonight, but I first of all have to say it's me, Cherry, on the lead host mic.
Hey.
I am dropping it down like the cops. And
What?
of course, what? Here's my boy. Hey!
Oh, what's up? It's your man, Kaaos J. You already know.
It's my guy, and I'm so excited to be here with you tonight because Mike isn't here, but what we are holding it down.
We holding it down. We always hold it down.
We always do. Tonight is going to be a season finale that you will not forget because it was a terrorist attack that had my mind blown. I was literally at the end of my seat. And of course, I want to make sure you guys tune in for the very last minutes because we're going to be talking about the best rookie overall of the season. Who would you tell if there's a terrorist attack getting ready to drop some major death, bleeding out your eyeballs?
Viruses.
And it's a virus that I don't want to catch. And of
it might be
course,
fun.
what would you do? Now, first thing I have to talk about is Talia turning it around and that internal affairs wench. What did you think about that?
She flipped it up. She flipped it up. I'm not mad at her at all. It's one of those situations where, we've seen this kind of thing before in other TV shows. And I like the fact that she was able to reference a regulation or a code or something that basically said like, yo, you're in violation. I'm reporting you to your superior and you're going to get dealt with. And that's essentially what she did. I mean, so just bravo. At the end of the day, we already know Bishop she's not the one. Do not try it. Because she knows that book, she knows the regulations. She was built for this. So I'm not going to lie. I didn't see that one coming. But I'm not mad at it at all. I like the way she handled it. She only got a little LOR, leather reprimand. So, she's able to keep doing what she does.
I thought it was hilarious that the IA woman wanted her to snitch. And she was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to snitch.
Yo,
I'm gonna
yeah.
be snitching on you.
Snitch. Snitches get stitches.
Because she was not going to tell.
Or in the case of Detective Ruiz or whatever, Agent Ruiz, blah 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 blah. In her situation, she's about to she might be looking for another job.
She had the
Either that or a demotion.
hellfire rained on by her because Officer
Daddy
West is not the one. And let's keep it real.
Not even a little bit.
She pulled the black card. She told her boss who she was friends with. Then he told his friend, and they were like, no, not today. You're not taking this sister down. Not today.
Protect black women at all costs.
Thank
Bing!
you.
Okay,
Boom.
all right. So.
I love that about you. I love that about you, Kaaos. Yes, hold it down.
I try. I do what I do. Okay.
But I am so excited about talking on AfterBuzz TV about the rookie. This past season has been a blast. I know our followers have been tuning in, talking, and joining us.
We appreciate everybody in the live chat. Definitely. So look, you already know what it is. Before we even dive into this episode, we just want to shout you out. We want to say thank you for making us to ESPN, the TV talk. And listen, we want to keep leveling up and we want to keep growing. And to do that, we need your help. If you're on YouTube right now, or if you're on YouTube tomorrow, I need you to hit that thumbs up button. I need you to subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, give us 5 stars. 4 doesn't matter. I mean, 4 is cool, but we're 5-star hosts. So give us 5 stars. Listen, no matter where you are, you can leave a comment and join the conversation. We will shout you out on there. You already know how we do here. And just understand that being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we appreciate you holding it down and supporting us and doing what we love. So we want you to tell your friends, tell your girlfriends, tell your boyfriends, tell everybody, and keep enjoying our shows because we've got a little bit of everything for everyone.
Don't forget to tell your side boo. And of course, they love reality.
And your main boo.
If they love drama, if they love comedy, if they love sci-fi, We are watching the shows.
We
and
got
you
it.
Come with us. We're your team. We're your buzzing. Now, I want to talk about someone's side boo. That would be Lopez. She was torn between two men. Her West, who was her little boo, who she's like guiding.
Yeah, her trainee.
And Wesley, her fine lawyer boyfriend. A little self-righteous, but you know what? I'd let that pass. What did you think was going on? First of all, she had to put West in check.
Okay, so I almost forgot about. Hold on. Okay, I almost forgot. Wes's shenanigans last week. Until she put him. She stopped him and said, you're in the driver's seat, and she kind of just said, look, even though you've been groomed for this, doesn't mean you're built for this, doesn't mean you're made for this. You need to understand and know exactly why you want to be a cop. I like how she kind of gave him that perspective, and I'm not mad at her. I kind of got in my feels when she said, look, you know what, I'm going to look at getting you another TO. And he said, look, I don't want another TO. I was feeling some kind of way. It's not going to happen again. And then she was like, all right, well, you never really got a plain clothes day, which is true. He didn't.
He did not.
So we're going to do your plain clothes day. We're going to ride this out, and we're going to see how you do, and then that'll determine whether or not, we keep rocking. Now, when it comes to Wesley, I like that they're getting more hot and heavy. I like that they're more playful, because sometimes they're just way too serious for me. But I definitely like their relationship, and I just feel like sometimes somebody's got to take the upper hand, and just tonight she had to take the upper hand, and we can dive into that later. I won't spoil it for right now, but yeah,
she took the upper hand, like ER's grandpa, and of course Renji 90998 both said that Bishop checked that woman, which is true, and I also have to say that I really liked her interplay between Lopez and West when she told him, just because you're groomed for the job doesn't mean it's a job for you, which is true. I mean, he'd been told constantly, you're going to be a cop, you're going to be a cop, you're going to be a cop. And that, I think, that day made him really evaluate why he wanted to be a cop.
Exactly.
Because he'd been like going through the motions, wanting to be daddy's boy.
Right.
And he's a grown up, and you're wearing the uniform, and you're taking people's lives in your hands.
Right. Yeah. You are your own individual, so you have to act accordingly.
You think so. But I have to say, if I'd been Wesley and if I'd known that terror attack was going on, I'd have kept my mouth shut, because that's one ride along I'd have wanted to pass. Wouldn't you have passed on that ride along?
I would have definitely passed on that ride along. And then to jump back, when they found out what was going on and they were able to, to do the calls and stuff, we saw she wasn't really able. She didn't feel comfortable telling him what it was, and she did. And while we probably, like I said, and I was like, nah, that's messed up. That's your dude. She knows her dude.
Him. She knew
so
her
then
man.
when she was trying to, she's trying to tell him, look, like, you can't tell anybody, and he starts going on. She's like, see, there you go, on your high horse.
That's
like,
why I
that's
didn't
it.
tell you. That's
bracelets. Why. And I wasn't mad at it.
It made sense.
Right. Wes was like, you sure you want to do this? She's like, hey, I got to do what I got to do. At the end of the day, she's got a job to do.
And let's be honest, we both live in LA. If they knew there was some terrorist attack somewhere,
it'd be pandemonium.
Nobody would be able to leave anyway. Everybody would be in their car fighting. There'd be, it would just be drama, total drama. No one would go anywhere. And the terrorists would be like, everybody's stuck down in La Cienega, the metro. Let's just go. We have to go to LAX. Let's go down the metro and just
there you go.
Spray.
And just that's it. Just a little spritz over here, a little spritz over there. Yeah, there'd been a spritz party.
Spritz. I found the terrorist attack fascinating because as a white nationalist, which usually when you're seeing on the news, when they act like terrorists, it's always somebody brown, it's always someone Muslim.
Right.
Let's be honest, in America, if you're going to be violently assaulted, some sort of terrorism attack, some sort of shooting, it's a white guy.
So That's facts.
It's facts, and that's what it was in today's episode.
I definitely appreciate the way that they made it relevant.
Yes.
And they didn't just fall into the tired old stereotypes and cliches and tropes that we normally see on TV shows and in movies. It was definitely really, really relevant, even down to when they went, when Bishop and Nolan were on patrol, and, he was like, how do none of these neighbors know each other? Which I'm going to speak to that in a second. And then she said, well, let's go talk to the real locals, because there was, like a homeless encampment, just over at the park. And then they talked to, the one guy, and, he's brown. I'd say he's probably, Latin or Middle Eastern. It doesn't matter. But he talked about, he actually knew one of the suspects and said how, like, he was a jerk and how he would tell him, you don't belong in this country and stuff like that. And then it kind of made me think, like, it's crazy to think where we, at least for me, I remember where you didn't really think about someone's nationality or not even their nationality, but you didn't really take into question their citizenship. You just, you're here, you're out, and there's people of all different shades and colors, and it is what it is. And now all of a sudden there are people that, because they're racist or bigoted and, they feel some kind of way, they're constantly questioning whether or not this person belongs here or not, which is ridiculous. Either way,
ridiculous. And as he said, I was born in Cedar-Sinai.
Right,
What?
exactly. Like, as if I wasn't born in Cedar-Sinai.
He was an LA native. The other guy flew in from someplace.
What was crazy to me too, but I understand where Nolan was like, how does no one know their neighbors? And I feel like that's reflective of LA. But it's also probably reflective of a lot of other places. And I think it's crazy that we don't know who we live next to. Now, I have taken it upon myself to know all the neighbors in my building. That's just how I roll. Like, if you cross my path, I'm speaking. And if you don't speak, I'm going to make sure you hey, what's up? Hello, I'm your neighbor. How you doing? And that's something that we should do. Just, but I'm not going to get my high horse. Either way, yeah, it was, I like the way they tied everything in. It was definitely nice.
It was really good.
And it was relevant.
Yes, homeless people do know who you are. And people remember the one that's mean to you, that throws crap at you, talks mess. I love the way one of the descriptors of the car was because a homeless guy got pissed at him, treating him like crap. And he's like,
and he keyed his car.
What? And he knew what building it was in. I was like, dang.
Now,
that's the kind of neighbor I need.
Right?
In case there's any robbery or any mess going on.
Now, you know what's crazy is when he said that, it made me think of all the times that I've seen people's cars that had been keyed, to even when I've had some friends where their cars were keyed, and they're like, I don't know who it was, and they didn't have anybody that was mad at them, or so they thought. But then I'm like, I could see that happening now.
Yes.
You treat a homeless person some kind of way as if they're not a human themselves, and then they're like, okay, cool, like, I got you. I know what kind of car you rolling in, and they key that thing. I can't even be mad at it. It's not gonna happen to me because I love everybody.
I love everyone. I don't mess with nobody. You steal somebody's parking space, they'll key your car. They know where you live. They'll just wait till later and key your car. It is a madhouse, and be nice to everybody. How hard is that? And that manhunt was a hoot. I could not imagine trying to come to a city like LA with all these dead ends and stuff and trying to figure out a grid. I thought it was really interesting how, despite the fact that Nolan is a relatively new local who knew that there was a giant terrorist-sized hole going towards LAX. What did you think about the manhunt? I thought it was one of the best scenes within the episodes I've seen all year.
I thought the manhunt was okay. I thought it was real. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I want to be entertained. I didn't think that it was like edge of your seat. Now, there were certain parts of that manhunt where I'm like, oh my God. But, there were other parts where they were just kind of like it was routine, at least in the beginning, like when we had the bus stop, where they had the dead guy in the bus station. I'm like, okay. And he's like, oh, well, so much for this, easy day, because they're stuck there. So it had its slow moments. It definitely does pick up. And I like the fact that it was real. It seemed like realistic, as opposed to just, they jump right out the station and it's 100 miles an hour. But, for the entertainment purposes, y'all could have, just kept it all the way at 100 miles an hour. I'd have been cool with that too.
I liked how they figured out where they were going from their grid search.
Right.
They found
It was
the
a very
terrorist
targeted
apartment.
search. Right.
Nolan looked around the apartment to see what was laying around.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was very interesting. It's very realistic because I've seen that when you watch the news about them finding some murder.
Mm-hmm.
We went through their trash. We went in their apartment.
Right.
They had the sign up because they're crazy. What did you think about it? I thought that was one of the more interesting interplays between Talia and Nolan. As the season has gone on, their relationship has really just surprisingly deepened, and they're almost like a married couple where they just automatically. She went and looked at the mail. He went over the table.
Right.
They didn't even tell each other where to go. They were
Right.
just like, "I'm gonna go."
But they were kind of working in synchronicity. So, yeah, no, I definitely like the way I like their relationship. I like how it's evolved. And yeah, I like this is one of the things where I wonder what's going to happen in the second season because I like the pairings the way they are now. Mm-hmm. I do not really want to see them go with anyone else in terms of their TO because I think it works.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about Nolan, his son Henry, and his girlfriend? I personally totally understood how Nolan got upset with her, but on the other hand, he wasn't cleared to hear about that. And you can't get upset about that. And it just was sort of a major dichotomy about how their policing attitude is.
Okay, and here's the thing. Having had a military background and understanding the rules of clearance and confidential things and things like that, I definitely can appreciate what you were saying. Mm-hmm. He wasn't, like you said, he wasn't cleared to know. But I also like to break rules, and you have it on record, so you can go ahead and use this 10 years from now when I'm like wildly famous, like, oh, see, there it is. Kelly said he likes to break rules. I probably would have given him the heads up.
Really?
I would have given him a heads up. Here's the thing. While, yes, he wasn't cleared, and we already understand that, he was going to go into work, and it was going to end up becoming, falling in his lap anyway. He was going to find out about it on some level. So why not just go ahead and tell him and just say, hey, you know what? As much as I'd love to see your son, and this is going to be great, I think you should probably tell him to just, hang back for a couple days. Just trust me on this. I'll tell you later.
But she didn't know that it was going to come to fruition. And let's be honest, we don't hear about even 1/10 of the terrorist attacks
we do
that
not.
are going on. If you live your life for fear of a terrorist attack, you never come to LA. You never go to Disney.
You'll never leave your house.
You just be home all the time. ER's grandpa in the chat says, yeah, they are like a married couple. We're going back to Talia and Nolan. And Kern, whether they want to admit it or not, looking at you, Bishop. I do detect sometimes that they have like a little something.
Oh, cut it out. Not
It's
even
a
a
deep
little bit.
something.
I think it's a partner something, and a love on a platonic level something. Not that I would be against it. I just don't. I personally, I don't see it. I don't see it. Not yet. I just, but I also don't see him and Jessica lasting either.
Oh no, they're not gonna last.
Yeah,
no.
not even. A
He
little
thinks
bit.
he's a liar.
They're cute, but yeah, no.
He likes having the woohoo
just
with
low
her.
key needs to get back
But
with.
yeah. No.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I don't even need to say it because you already know.
I thought Lucy Chen in this episode and her reaction to Tim Bradford locked in that room with the drug.
I call him Patient Zero.
Patient Zero. He's a better man than me because I have to say, watching the episode, I was like, ew, blood cough. First of all, when people are coughing near me, turn your head. Don't cough on me. I don't even stand near people when they're coughing in German because I'm nice. What did you think about that? Because I know when we were watching it, you were like, oh, he should have watched him from behind.
Right.
Did you never know how you're going to react when you start blood to start coming out of your eyes? I don't think we're going to react rationally. Just not, I wouldn't.
Okay, so there's a lot of things that kind of went through my mind in that scene. I laughed because if you notice on almost every TV show, every movie, no matter what the ailment is, no matter what happens, that's the sign that like, oh, it's getting worse, is the person coughing up blood. Somebody can, shoot their toe off, and then it's like, oh, I'm losing so much blood from my toe, and then and next thing you know they're coughing up blood, and it's like, seriously. Like, that's, I don't know, I feel like that's Hollywood's answer to show, like, hey, how can we show them that it's serious and that they're going to die?
Ooh. Dun, dun,
I know, let them cough up blood. Even if it has nothing to do, if the wound or the illness has nothing to do, in relation to them even having blood in their lungs or in their stomach to cough up, yet somehow they still cough up blood. Obviously, in this one, it made sense, but that's just what made me think of it, because he went from, just saying, hey, I cut my finger while I was going in there trying to see what this stuff was.
But if you looked at the finger, his finger was black
right,
already.
it was still bleeding. It was
black.
Was it black? Because I thought it was the bandage soaked with blood. I think it was the bandage soaked with blood. And it just wouldn't stop bleeding because it was bleeding through the bandage because it's a hemorrhagic biovirus fever, blah, 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 blah. So, anyways, Bradford's obviously he's that dude. I think when you have the training and then you're put in that situation, while yes, you're gonna, your adrenaline is gonna be pumping, your training also kicks in. So right, if you in that situation, you may not react as calmly and as cool. You're like, oh my God, what the hell? Get away from me! Don't touch me. Whereas someone else may be, calm, cool, and whatever. And that's kind of where I felt like his training kicked in. I was a little uncomfortable with the fact that he never put on the mask. He never put something over his face, and my man's is just coughing. Huh?
I don't think they gave him anything.
He could have went through his drawers and grabbed some socks or something. I mean,
someone's dirty.
Okay, underwear. Well, first off, I'm sorry, not underwear. This is all bad. Not socks, not underwear. But if you're pulling out of the drawer, I would like to think that it's clean. I'm just saying. So, shirt is really what I was going for, but whatever. You got my point. I like the fact that he quickly, once he realized, like, yo, this is the this is the chemicals, the chemical virus in this bag, and then that the dude had already been infected, he immediately slammed the door to protect Chin.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
And to speak to what you were saying, I love seeing them have that moment where they're talking and you can see that she's genuinely concerned, she cares, he's genuinely concerned, he cares. And you have them, you have Lopez and West, you have Bishop and Nolan, and we see again the relationship goes beyond just the trainee and the TO. It really is a partnership. They are partners. They are in it to win it, and they've got each other's back, and they genuinely care. I mean, hell, Nolan put his neck on the line for Bishop, and she's done it for him. So I really did appreciate seeing that. I am very concerned about your man's, so we'll get into it. But yeah, I appreciate that she was there and she didn't leave his side.
I don't want to be that person, but I am. In the chat, Renji90998 agreed with me. It looked black to me.
Hey,
right.
It is what it is. At the end of the day, he definitely had something that you did not want, and it was kind of I couldn't help but think what kind of trauma. What kind of trauma that might cause to see someone die as violently as he did. And I didn't understand why he didn't really, really look away. Because I probably would have looked away.
But letting someone die alone by themselves is
but
hard
at the same time, I mean, you just staring at them, what is that doing? Now, I get it. I get it. I get that. I can understand the eye contact.
But I wouldn't touch him or anything.
He's doing all of that. I mean... I feel like if I'm doing all of this, I kind of want you to do something other than just look at me. Like say something, crack a joke. Maybe I can chuckle as I'm gagging on my blood. Something. I
like Bradford, but he's kind of like a emotionally distant person in general. What I thought was interesting when they walked in the house, the guy kept saying, I got the wrong book bag. And you think that would have been a sign of them, well, what do you mean you got the wrong book bag?
Right, because he was right.
Something science and weird in it.
He was super salty.
If I open up a book bag and I obviously looks like crap that I have not, isn't mine, and it looks really weird, being a germaphobe, my assumption would be, oh my God, since I don't know, it's a chem lab. They're growing drugs, illegal drugs. The police will think it's mine. I'm not touching anything.
See, and then this is when Kelly doing dumb stuff kicks in, because I would have put something on my hands. I definitely would have done that, some kind of gloves or something. But I would have went all through that bag.
No.
Just out of curiosity, I'd have kind of been poking around like, oh, okay, and then I'd have called the police. Yeah, your man's was definitely salty. Not even salty. He was just angry, really, when he realized that they didn't have his backpack.
Yeah, and he lost his computer, which I totally. But it's like I don't touch. Personally, I found stuff and I don't touch other people's things. My assumption is that most people don't wash their hands. Most people are nasty and dirty. So no, I'm not touching anything. Not touching anything.
I don't know you.
I don't know you, and I know enough people where I'm like, I know you well enough where I won't eat anything from your house.
Right?
We're cool because we're friends.
Right. I don't want any
But you're
dish that you're bringing
nasty,
from that
so
potluck.
no, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good.
No.
You don't bathe.
Oh my God, this episode was a blast. I'm loving the season finale, and I'm hoping we'll have a new season. But you know
we're
what?
definitely going to get a new season.
Let's get into our
ABC would be a fool especially because we know that they've invested a lot in Nathan Fillion, and with all due and it's with just due because he delivers.
He delivers.
I mean, he delivers like this. I mean, granted, everybody in this show is awesome.
Yes.
They all hold their own. But, he is the star of the show. And, yeah, I mean, that was my initial attraction to the show was because it was him. Mm-hmm. I remember everybody loved Castle. I didn't really catch on with Castle. Mm-hmm. But he's just an overall good dude, and I like it.
I love him from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I definitely think we're going to get a season 2. If not, trust, I will let y'all know we will be out in front of ABC Studios raising the fuss.
Now, let's talk about our special segment because, woo, woo, sound of the police, special segment. Do. Tonight's special segment is going to be, since it's the season finale, who has been the best rookie? When you think about the very first episode to now, and we're thinking about all the episodes, what rookie has just upped their game, has become an exemplary rookie, one day be a cop?
That's a toughie. That's a toughie. I don't know. I don't know if I really feel okay just picking one person because we've seen so much growth with everyone. We've seen a lot of growth with Wes because low key, Wes was a little punk.
He's a snob.
When he, you know what I'm saying? And he's definitely gotten out of that. He's definitely gotten out of that space that he was in. And he started to come into his own. He's still got he's still got a little ways to go, but I think he's on the right track all day. Yeah. I mean, every episode, he's saying it with his chest. And he definitely said it with his chest. This time, with the bus scene, which, with the bus standoff, which we'll get to, because we still got the street standoff, which we got to get to. But I don't know. I mean, Lucy has come into her own. West and Nolan. I mean, they've all really come into their own. Nolan, hands down, he's built for this.
Yes.
But I feel like they're all built for this. So I don't know if I have to pick, and it's like, okay, well, Kaaos, you just took like a whole 3 minutes to tell us that that you didn't want to pick. But if I really have to pick, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Nolan.
Ooh.
Because he's ever evolving. He's still evolving, even in this episode. And that's because Nathan, you the murderer. Because you can see in his face when he has that conversation with Bishop, and she's like, you really need to let it go. Like, you could see the wheels turning when she gave him a different perspective, which is why I love their dynamic, because he thinks one thing, and he's like, he's very stuck in that way of thinking, because he's like, okay, like, I've been around the block, I know what's up. And she's like, you do know what's up, but think about it from this angle. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go with Nolan.
They've all been really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if you had to get stopped by the police, you'd want to get stopped by Nolan.
Yeah.
He would be a fair
because West is a little bit too by the book. He's not going to give me a break. He's not going to give me a break, and I don't think that
he probably go on the other side.
I don't think that I'm Chin's speed, so I don't think that even though my best day, she's going to be like, okay, you know what? He's cute. He's nice. I'm going to go ahead and give him a break. No, Nolan's probably my best bet.
He is your best bet. He's all of our best bets.
Yeah. We definitely know Bradford's not giving nobody no slack.
Nothing. And if you flirt with him a lot, though, he'd feel uncomfortable and he'd leave you alone.
Right. Although, right, and that psychic scene was crazy, but it was also funny in the fact that that guy got all fired up, and we find out that he got fired up because she kind of hit the nail on the head. There are a lot of psychics that just kind of throw out suggestive questions, and then they pick up on your reactions.
Yes.
And that's exactly what she did. And then it just happened to be that he had something to hide with his wife being MIA. But I like that, and I liked her flirting with, she was like, yeah, we can destroy my bedroom. And I was like, okay. And I kind of low-key wanted him to be like, hey, call me, or just slide the car, like, hey, if you have any other troubles, give me a call. And just, a little wink. I really want Bradford I want him to sow his royal oats. I'm just going to put it out there. Bradford, I don't need him to fall in love right now. I need him to get, a little bit of loving.
That wasn't flirting, though. That was tender in real life. She was just like, I was hit and quit it. What? I got a room back here. What? That was a lot. That was a lot for my lady. But much respect. He's a very attractive man. And he's tall. So, ooh. And then, I guess, who has been the cop that's really grown on you? And that includes Sergeant Gray. That includes Daddy West.
We already know.
Cop?
We already know, because I'm pretty sure we're on the same page on this one. This is Officer Bradford all day. I
love Bradford.
I like Officer Bradford. I did not like that dude.
No.
Like real talk, if I could get away with throwing hands on the street when the season first started, if I'd have seen him in the right circumstances, we throwing hands. At this point, I'm all in. I like Officer. I really like him.
He has.
I appreciate I appreciate him for all of his
imperfections.
All of his imperfections.
Yeah, he's really grown.
Because it really is a method to his madness too.
Yeah, he was going through some stuff, and unlike our beloved Nolan, he kept his mess at home.
He did.
At home, so you didn't even know what was going on. He was like, nah.
Chin barely knew what was going on.
Barely.
Barely.
Wow, it was great. I can't believe it's a season finale. I'm hoping the show will be renewed by ABC really soon. But Kaaos, how can we find you when you're not talking the Wookiee?
When I'm not talking the rookie, you can find me on Twitter, KAAOSJ. Instagram, you can find me as Kaaos_Jones all day. I'm not done though. I keep hearing this music. We still got time on the books. We got to talk about this chase, this hot pursuit, where it goes from the streets to, they go from chasing him in the streets in the car where they do the pit maneuver, and then he gets out and they got the Heat style shootout for a hot second. That was good. And then they go into a foot chase where they split up, and then we got the bus scene where and this is where I was talking about, where West says with his chest. And and that teamwork between him and Lopez, where she said, "Look, I just need to just let me get a shot. Help me get a shot." And he goes in and he starts talking to the dude, and he starts trying to talk him down. And she does her thing. She snipes him, and kind of nicks West in the process. And he says, "Hey, well, there's a regulation that says if you nick your trainee, you can't hand me off." And I like that. That to me, I was like, yes. Do not get rid of him.
I'm loving all my rookies and all my cops. So
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Why are you trying to make me pick over here?
I know ABC is going to pick up a season 2 because it would be a mistake not to. And you can find me on Supernatural Thursdays here on AfterBuzz TV and on social media, Cherry_LA on Twitter and Instagram. I'm having such a fun time talking about the rookies.
I'm not
I
done
can't believe
though.
it's over.
We're not done yet.
It's not
Why are you
over.
trying to leave?
What?
I got a whole 3.5 minutes. Why are you trying to leave, Cherry? No, wait.
He keeps pulling us back in.
We have to discuss real quick. Tell me. What now?
3 minutes.
A 3 minute sharp. Okay, so we just tell me what you thought We already know the first guy got sniped out on the bus. Jessica and Nolan corner the other guy in the back of somebody's house in the garage area. What did you think about that when...
Oh, I'd have shot his ass in a heartbeat. He's a drug carrier. He's a white supremacist that wants to get rid of all the not real Americans. He wouldn't be getting within, not even 100 feet of me. I shot him from the minute he stuck his head up. Yeah. Boom. That's the end of that. And I wouldn't go near his dead body. So, what?
Right, because, Bishop did have a point when, she was kind of trying to talk Nolan off for just, throwing a grenade on his relationship. She said he could have covered himself, or no, Jessica even said, he could have covered himself, with that agent or with, whatever that spray liquid was. He could have covered himself with that. We do not know. I like the way, again, how Bishop kind of put it in perspective, said you really need to chill. She's been around the block. She's been doing this. She's not new to this. And you are, and she probably saved you from being put in a tight predicament, in a rock and a hard place. So I definitely think that's a wrap. Even though he may agree with Bishop, he's still going to feel some kind of way. It's definitely a wrap. And season 2, I'm calling it right now. He's going to get back with Chin, and it's going to be happily ever after.
Happily ever after. Thank you guys for joining us. We had a blast talking about The Rookie Season 1. ABC, please renew it. And, of course, if you're a fan of TV, subscribe to AfterBuzz TV drama, comedy, reality, sci-fi. We will be buzzing you later, hopefully Season 2, for The Rookie.
Also,
Bye.
yes, bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.